Facebook with our friends. Excuse
Hi,
me.
everyone.
Good morning. I'm so happy that let's just start with some gratitude, shall we? We were talking about this just the other day. I need some water actually. But like just all our life has changed completely. But what has changed in the positive for you, Steph?
So many things. Like that's what I'm seeing the most change in, honestly, is the perspective of the positive side of everything, the silver linings. And I guess that comes down to mindset work, right? Like you and I both talk about mindset work and practice really embracing a positive mind. But when you can tune yourself into that, you do start seeing the silver linings everywhere. So, I mean, in terms of specifics, my life hasn't changed a whole lot because I've worked from home for like 6 years. So that's kind of the same. But just like seeing people come together and doing more of our virtual tea dates like this, and just seeing how people are really stepping up and striving to be the light and being a solution and encouraging others. It's awesome to see all of that.
Yeah, I think this is, you and I were I was driving the other day and had a mission to get this birthday present and I had to call you. And I often call you when I'm driving, which is like, I'm going to call Steph. And I just really was thinking about you because I was like, I don't know how much Steph's life has changed, just your lifestyle, because like you live pretty remotely. And you and Timmy are home most of the time, like just together working from home. And I was like, that's so cool. And I was wondering, like, and I knew people would be coming to you because you're such like a grounded force of nature. And like, what have people been saying, like when they arrive in your inbox, or are they calling you right now? Like, cause you're such a great person to support and just to be the calm in this crazy storm.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I mean, I've had my moments too, right? Like everybody has their weak link, but absolutely, like my phone has been blowing up. I'm not going to lie. It's been blowing up with people just like not really knowing how to manage their emotions and what to do and what's the first step they should take with their wellness plan and all of the things, because right now it's everything's so heightened and the focus is on just like basically it's survival. Yeah. And so it's like, well, what's my first step? Where do I even go? What should I focus on? And I guess, breathe, first of all, like control what you can control, but also know that this is kind of a time where you have to let go of the reins a little bit and feel the feels and let the emotions come up and just sit with them. Like now is a better time than ever to sit with your emotions and like learn how to meditate and just tune inward and see what you really truly need as a person, right? Like there's a lot of external noise, but you can turn your TV off, you can shut your phone down and focus on what you need at this moment. So I've been really encouraging people just to sit in as much stillness as they can and just say, okay, like it's okay. Everybody's experiencing this. This is a global thing. Like, there's not been too many circumstances where it's affected every single person on a global scale. It's pretty wild when you think of it.
What would be even another circumstance?
I don't know, like not anything in our lifetime. Like it's something, it's above and beyond. Yeah. But like you said, like there's so many positives in that too, right? You just have to kind of look for them. So just, breathe and find your way to get grounded. I did a Facebook Live on my page yesterday, just kind of talking about a few things like how I do it and what I've been doing and knowing that we are going to get through this. And I think what's going to be on the other side is actually going to be quite beautiful because there's going to be some really needed and necessary changes in our attitudes and the way we do things and some shifts from like needing things and striving for things to more just like being and being a little more flexible and a little more compassionate. I think there's a lot of good in it.
Absolutely. I think I can hear my children. It sounds like they're going to come through the screen. So it's like we're in this time of self-isolation. And I heard someone, I don't know who it was. If you guys are listening, please give credit to where credit's due. But it said, instead of looking at it as self-isolation, why don't we look at it as a time of self-discovery? And I think that you model that so beautifully with, turning your phone off and taking that time and giving yourself the space to reflect and to get the answers that you're looking for. And this is completely unnatural for a lot of people who just live insanely busy lives.
Yeah. And I think like the self-discovery part is huge, right? You know, you and I've both been entrepreneurs for many years. That's a self-discovery journey. Let me tell you, it's like, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and your habits. And I think right now it's just compounded. Like we need to learn a lot about ourselves right now and our family and society. And we're kind of, it's forced upon us because like really who is going to hit the pause button and take time to like do all this discovery and make the changes unless, you know, Mother Earth was like, hold up, I'll do it for you.
Exactly. Okay. So rewinding back to the gratitude piece, I mean, my mom's been teaching me this for so many years and modeling this, and every spiritual teacher will talk to you about the importance of gratitude, right? And so I'd love everyone who's tuning in, whether it's now or to the recording, and before you resist, like to say like, I don't need to do that, just give yourself just a couple minutes just to say, okay, what has changed that I'm actually grateful for? And I will say also that if you're having a hard time finding gratitude, maybe because your life is completely upside down right now and things are way more challenging than even Steph and I could even imagine, still try to find anything that is a positive because of this. So I would love to share like a few things that I've noticed with the boys, just from the perspective of this homeschooling role that I always said I would never be able to homeschool, never in a million years. How do moms do it? You know, never. And you know, I was forced to come up with a schedule, not because I have to. And again, all the moms out there, there's no expectation or no like right way right now. We're all just in the same boat trying to figure it out. But for me, I knew that my kids would really thrive better with a schedule. So I got out, worked with what I got a poster board and created a schedule. And I'll put a picture in the comments. But I was like, it was a moment of empowerment for myself to say, oh, okay, I can do this, right? So that was a moment of gratitude for me to say like, okay, so Mike feels better, my husband, the kids feel better. Everyone just felt better with some sort of sense of normalcy. Normalcy, I don't even know. But
what does that even mean anymore?
Everyone just really thrived on that. So really grateful for that moment for our family to come together and say, okay, let's work with this. I'm really grateful for technology, obviously. Like, look at us right now, like being able to connect you and I've had more video chats in the last, and I always video chat, but like heightened amount of just connecting. Like shout out to the younger generation, like Curtis and his cousins. Some of them have never met in real life, but they created like a Facebook Messenger group that's like cousins only. And like, and they're all connecting and like sharing. And it's like, that would have never happened if it wasn't for this circumstance, right? Mm-hmm. So you guys like give a moment of gratitude. And then Steph and I really want to get into how to stay empowered in your health. Okay. So Steph and I have been working together for nearly a decade. And we've both been, talking health and wellness for even longer than that. And empowering you guys in your health is really top of mind for us right now and always. As you know, if you've been following us, this is not a new conversation. But we want you to feel empowered, because if you're looking at the news and everything, the reality is like it is what it is, right? We won't go too much into that. But at the end of the day, even in a regular situation, life before this, we still want to be empowered in our health, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not living in some protected bubble, right? We are still going to come across viruses and illnesses and things like that if we're not staying empowered in our health. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. So if you guys think of the last time you got sick, if you can remember, it probably had something to do with you dropping the ball in some area, right? So that could be, and Stephanie, well, we can dive into this, but maybe you had extra stress in your life, or you weren't sleeping well, or maybe you let your nutrition go, things like that. So we want to empower you on all the things you can do to stay empowered in your health now and always, so that you could be a very poor host, if you will, for any dis-ease or illness that, of course, will exist always. Does that make sense, Steph?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I think a lot of these things that we do are really second nature to us because it's just the world that we live in. And let's just break it down. Like, what are the things that we do? Again, like, neither of us are perfect. But if we really were to take inventory of the best practices to stay empowered, to keep our mind and our body empowered to be aligned to true health, what does that look like?
I would say for one of the very first action steps is to remind yourself that you actually have more control than you think you do. Like you are an empowered person, and to not just keep giving your power away. That's something that I think is really important to know, that empowerment is just such a great feeling. And when you're tuning into negative media and tuning into the conversations, like, in a sense, you're giving your power away. Like you want to kind of see it as you're protecting yourself, your energy, your power. And the more you engage in all this stuff, right, the more you're giving little bits and fragmenting your energy away, and that's going to deplete you. That's going to make you feel crappy. Yeah. So really honoring who you are and reminding yourself you are an empowered being. And that comes down to a lot of different aspects. That can be your mindset work. That can be just like your positive self-talk, but kind of creating that little bubble of positivity and optimism as much as you can. That's just going to make everything else feel a little bit easier and manageable.
Well, I just got an inspired thought. So for you and I and everyone who's tuning in, either now or again, or they're recording, get out a little scrap piece of paper. So anyone who's, I got some post-its here, sticky notes. I actually need them in my life all the time. So let's actually, again, this is not planned, you guys. Let's each write, everyone, an affirmation right now of whatever you feel like you need. So it's an I am statement. So I don't even want to say a word so that I'm not, influencing you guys, but whatever you feel like you need, I am, what do you want to feel right now? And you can write a few of them. Let's do it.
I didn't think you were giving me homework on this call.
Me neither.
She's in homeschool mama mode.
Yeah, it's totally true. Oh my God, sorry, Steph.
That's okay. I like a good affirmation.
Okay, I wrote down 4.
Okay.
So I am healthy, I am loved, I am energized, and I am peaceful. There's my post-it notes.
I like it. Your handwriting's always so much nicer, but I am grounded. I don't know if you can see that. I am safe. I am supported. I am nourished. I am connected.
Beautiful. So you guys, so let's break it down to the basics. Like, what is an affirmation? Is it just a bunch of woo-woo? Do you find value in affirmations? And do you think it's a good tool for just addressing your first point?
They're noted all over my house. The Costco size post-it notes, and you just write these beautiful, encouraging, empowering things and just pop them in places that you're going to see them. And it really actually does something for your energy. You feel so good when you read it.
Amazing. And I had the boys, that was their the first morning of homeschool yesterday was a poster of affirmations. And they loved it. They're just like, and it was interesting what they wrote. Marcus, he wrote, I am healthy, I'm cool. One word he wrote was, I am careful.
Oh.
I was like, He's like, how do you spell careful? He was like trying to sound it out. I was like, your daddy's really gonna like that one. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we got our mindset. Anything else you want to add to mindset if anyone's like new to empowering themselves through their mindset?
Well, I think the only thing that I would add just in why that's important is that your mindset really does create your reality. So if you're constantly thinking of bad things and negative things and I'm going to get sick and I'm going to like lose everything, if you're constantly telling yourself that, your mind starts filtering out your reality and it starts to give you evidence to validate your beliefs.
Yeah.
So that goes for the positive and for the negative. So if you are someone who has really exercised and practiced being an empowered person, and you tell yourself and you believe, and sometimes it takes a little bit of work to start believing it, but if you start to believe, I am safe, I am connected, your reality actually starts filtering out to validate that. And those are the things you see. And that's why you see some people that it's just like, they can have one situation, like two people can be in the same situation and one has a totally different experience. It's just how they've primed their mental state, their mindset, and what they believe is true for them. So you really do have a lot of say in what you kind of shape your reality. So it starts with your mindset.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay, so now that we have our mind right, what's next? What's next for empowering our body for optimal health and thriving?
Well, do you want me to answer that or do you have one?
Well, I know what I would say the foundation is, but you're the holistic nutritionist, so why don't you lead this?
Well, definitely you want to be nourishing yourself with whole, good, natural foods as much as possible. I know some of us are a little limited right now in what we have access to, but do the best that you can, right? Again, Chris and I are not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I'm human, but I do know that if I can nourish myself firstly with whole foods and hydration and the mindset aspect, that's setting me up to be in a better position to feel empowered in my health and have a little more sense of a health harmony, right? Yeah. And then from there, of course, you know, Christa and I are going to mention the importance of supplementation to fill in the gaps. Like, we're in a high stress time. When your stress is at a higher level, you need more nutrients. You need to fill in the gaps. So, you know, we can speak individually if somebody is just not sure where to start with that, but that is a foundation. It's not just a luxury. Chris and I have been saying this forever. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Mm-hmm. And you'll see that more and more as we move through this, you know, just all the stuff that's happening is that people are becoming more aware that I need to do something more than what I'm just doing as my baseline right now.
Absolutely. So, you know, even in a regular time, you know, Steph and I, we really value whole foods and we're foodies and we love eating really well and beautiful. But at the same time, like, that supplementation piece is key. That's the foundation that really, again, fills in the gaps, right? Even if you think you're eating the cleanest, most whole food, most green diet ever, which probably is not the case ever, and probably not right now. It's that supplementation is so key for all kinds of different things. Like, you know, our food's just not what it used to be, right? And it's basically your health insurance to fill in the gaps. And also, we're not going to get into it, but when you're taking a quality supplement, and I can't even say quality, if you're taking USANA, then you're talking also about intelligence, which is really right at your cellular health, right? And only USANA can offer that. So supplementation is absolutely key. We're here to support you guys individually, or any USANA ambassador can help you, because we are all equipped with incredible resources in cellular health. Beautiful. Okay, so we got our whole foods, we got our supplements. Now, Steph, can we address the need right now for a lot of people just feeling the need to, like, I need comfort food, you know? And we don't want to say don't have comfort food. My goodness, like, it's, you know, I think that's really valuable right now. But is there any guidance you can say in terms of limiting maybe sugar intake? Because I know that's a big stressor on the body.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually created a whole program out of this in the past of being mindful around your sugar intake. And that is so applicable right now, because sugar does although a lot of us are stressed and we're grabbing for that, we're gravitating towards the comfort food and the sweets, because that's a safety blanket, right? It makes you feel good in the moment. But what I would say is, don't cut yourself off and say, I can't have this, I can't have that. Don't label things as good and bad right now. Like, that's not how I have ever positioned foods, as good and bad. It just puts a really bad label on it, right? So instead, just be a little more intentional, right? If you want to grab for the piece of chocolate, first of all, just have some mindfulness around it and say, okay, I see that I keep grabbing this chocolate. Every time I listen to the news, I keep grabbing for this chocolate. Yeah. Maybe there's a trigger there. Maybe there's a pattern that you want to just tune into and just bring a little more intention. So again, not saying don't have the sweets or the comfort foods or whatever that is, but maybe, again, going back to that self-discovery, ask yourself, is this a pattern? Like, am I reaching to this because I'm stressed out? Or what is the deeper meaning there? And then eat it. If you still want to eat it, but then enjoy it and don't be feeling guilty about it. But I will say, from a nutrition aspect, is that sugar does suppress your immune system. And it also has been shown to really kind of trigger anxieties. So you just, again, be mindful of those patterns if you're seeing that in yourself, as well as, a lot of us are at home working and there's probably free flowing coffee, right? Yeah. At a certain point, coffee, you're going to get a little maxed out, and that might be contributing to anxieties, and that you might get a little bit of that flutter in your chest, and you're listening to all the stuff happening. And so just be mindful of, like, why you're reaching for certain things. Is it because it's a comfort? And then if you do eat it, just enjoy it and say, okay, I know why I just actually really want this piece of chocolate. And that's okay. That's cool.
Absolutely. I actually have an interview coming up soon with Neviana, who created the local restaurant Carrots and Dates. Mm-hmm. And she gives a really beautiful talk about mindfulness around eating, and so much more than I ever thought to consider on the topic. So I'll share that as well with everyone once it's available.
Awesome.
Okay, so now let's move into how else can we empower our health during this time and always. What about movement? Mm-hmm. And like, is that applicable to our health and to our overall, strengthening our immune system and staying empowered in that way?
100%. And again, I know where a lot of us are working from home. Maybe your gym membership got canceled. I know mine did. I was getting really, really into going to yoga a few times a week. And now it is a self-discipline to say, okay, I know how good that felt for my body. I need to make that a practice with what I have right now, right? And with that, again, it helps with the mindset, it helps with your body, it helps strengthen the immune system, it helps relieve stress, all the things that build up in your body. It's an outlet, right? So I would say absolutely work with what you have. Do at least, I would say, 30 minutes of movement a day. Yeah. It is just overall empowering. You're going to feel so good. I mean, I can't say enough good about that, right?
And there's not a lack of resources. My goodness, like, it's
no.
What an incredible time. Like, it's like and you could literally work out 24/7 and you would never get bored of the resources. Like, there's such a variety. Now, I'll speak to the moms again, just because a unique situation with the homeschooling and having your kids home 24/7. And they can't play with their friends, and it's just you and them. So this morning, part of the curriculum, if you will, is we have some movement in the morning, and they can choose between Just Dance, which is like a video game. We have like an indoor basketball free shooter thing. There's a yoga on YouTube. We do like personal trainer, where like we each do like 2 moves like each, and we like rotate. So you can get really creative. And then if it makes sense where you are and in the situation that you're in, just getting outside, even if it's in the backyard. We've been really taking full advantage of like every local trail which again goes back to the gratitude piece. Like we didn't do that before, not to
Mhm.
this extent.
Yeah. Self-discovery. You get to see just like so much beyond what our borders were, right? You get to see these other opportunities and options, and
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
absolutely. So what else would you add to this? What about sleep? Probably should talk.
Sleep's huge. Yeah, sleep is huge. That's how your body rests and repairs, you guys. So I know, again, when you're feeling a little stressed out and fearful and anxious, that can affect your sleep, but now is a really good time to turn your sleep into a ritual. So how about you turn the mainstream media off by like 6 o'clock? Give your nervous system a chance to calm down, right? Do like the relaxing Epsom salt baths, or do like a facial at home, or light a candle, read a book. These are all things that I love doing, right? And then we often, life gets busy and we spend too much time on Instagram and you start to forget these little rituals. But it's a really great time to practice that and turn your sleep into a sacred practice. It's a routine. Make a routine around it.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Again, like when I had Shelly on last week, she said like this is your opportunity to develop new, beautiful, healthy habits, right? All
Oh,
of
you're
them.
frozen.
Am I
You're
frozen?
frozen.
Am I better now? Yay! You're frozen on your end too. Oh goodness! Imagine how many people are using the internet right now. Can you hear me?
That was super frozen.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So just imagine how many people are using the internet. It's really a miracle that this is working.
Oh, it's crazy. I know. It's crazy. Another gratitude, right? It's
Another
like
gratitude. Gratitude. Can you hear me okay? Am I frozen?
You're good now.
You're good. Okay, yeah. So just like this opportunity to create these new habits, like habits that we would have always been, thinking that we would like to one day if we had time, right? It's again beautiful. Okay, so let's just recap, Steph. Here we got our mindset, we have our nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
we have our movement,
Yep.
our sleep. Anything else you want to add to the empowerment of health conversation?
I would say your environment, so your home. Maybe now is a good time. We're in spring season now, so it's a really great time to do a tidy up and do a cleanse of your house and lighten the load and organize. Your physical environment contributes immensely to your mental well-being. So if you have a ton of clutter, if things around your house are just broken and falling apart, that definitely will affect your energy and your mood. So to kind of open up the channel and like get some abundance flowing, like a little feng shui, like clean your house.
Yes.
Just like get the
Clean
kids
your
involved. Do some organization,
Yes.
and it's gonna feel so much better. And something that I always do this, but I'm doing it even more now, is in the background, just lightly, I'll play mantra music, or like meditation music. That really changes the energy up in your household, which changes your energy. So if you're not familiar with that, there are actually numerous sound therapies and all that's backed by science to actually help soothe your nervous system. Mm-hmm. So instead of having the news blasting in the background, why not make it a point to play some really soothing, healing mantras? Just Google it. You'll find and if you're that science person and need to know that it actually has proof that it works, like there are evidence-backed soundtracks that showcase the reduction in anxieties and stress. So you can, they're everywhere. Look on YouTube, Google Play, all that kind of stuff. They're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And on Spotify, there's I played the love frequency one. That one's really nice too. And it's like you actually, it's kind of like you don't even notice it's there. And you can play it at such a low volume that the kids are not like, what is this? I want to listen to whatever. Like they don't even notice. Like it just kind of just changes the overall energy of the house. It's beautiful.
It really is.
Okay, Steph, so to wrap this up, the word empowerment to me is like, that's the whole inspiration of my podcast, of so much that I do. And I know you as well. It's like this feeling of empowering people with the feeling of, I've got this, like, you've got this, we've got this, we're in this together. You can do this, you can do anything. And I think it's just, yes, we are all in new territory. Well, except for you and Tim.
Except we talked about this. I can't go to Winners, and my
Yeah, no
Cuba trip got canceled, and
no cute cafes.
I can't go to the cafes. And I mean, you know, like, we can make light of it, and of course, like, I think you have to find the humor in it, but the truth is, like, everybody's really, like, their world got shook up, right? And we don't know how much further that's going to go. So we've got to find the positives. We got to find reasons to, like, laugh and, you know, make it, like, lighten the environment a little bit, right?
Yeah, because what's the alternative, really? Like, worry only pretends to be necessary. Eckhart Tolle does not do anything good. So let's speak to the people. Like, let's think of the situations here. Okay, so we've already said it a few times. We have moms and dads who are now home 100% with their kids in this new environment. So just like I shared, you know, with the schedule, you've got this, guys. Like, you can do this. There are resources. So just, it's a mindset piece of just literally saying to yourself, like, okay, I've got this. And then we live in a time of Google. Just Google it. You know what I mean? We can figure it out. It's not like, but you have to, it's really starts with that mindset piece. So I'm so happy that, like, you shared that for health empowerment, because it starts with a decision. It starts with, like, okay, I've got this, right? And that goes for anything, right? So for even, this is a little bit off topic, but for anyone who has lost their income, or their income is now unstable or uncertain, it's not the end of the world, you guys. Like, now is the time to possibly empower yourself. That's part of your health. Like, empower yourself with another stream of income, with you know, there's so many ways to create passive multiple streams of income in these times. Now you have the gift to explore them, right? I don't know, there's probably so many situations that I'm even unaware of.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, we know what we're dealing with. We know with, like, our closest people, what they're dealing with. You can tune into the news and know what other people are dealing with, but it really comes down with, like, we need to focus on our needs. And when we're feeling taken care of, then we can help others. We can feel empowered to help others to a greater capacity.
Yeah.
The whole self-care aspect, right? Like, you've got to put the mask on first before you can put on the other mask, right? Like, you've got to really it's not a time to get selfish. That's not what I'm saying, but it's a time where you really do need to empower yourself, that you can step up and empower others, because you can't do that if you're not feeling it yourself.
No, I was saying that to Christa K the other day. I said, my self-care game is, like, it is next level right now, because, and I'm actually just about to do an Instagram post on this, because the thing is in a regular situation, I talk about the importance of self-care, as you do, and many women in our community. Like, because again, you can only, if you want to give your best to others, you have to take care of yourself. Okay. But now, you know, that a lot of our situations have changed, our responsibilities have heightened. I'm not just a home-based business owner. Now I'm also a homeschooler and all these things. So when the expectations of you and the demands of you are increasing, that's also more reason to elevate your self-care game. That is not a time to put it to the back burner, right? So as more people need you, and as you're needed more, the self-care game has to also increase, right? So what does that look like? That looks like baths. That looks like, you know, full night's sleep. That looks like tea time. That looks like whatever you need. And literally, to me, self-care, to summarize it, is asking yourself, what do I need right now to feel my best? Yeah. That's it. And to honor that, you know, and I think, like, as women caregivers, we always are like, you know, are you cold? Do you need a drink? Do you need a snack? Do you need a blankie? You know, it's like, do I need a blankie right now? I think I need a blankie.
Yeah.
I think it's such an important message to increase your self-care right now.
It's so important. It's so important because that's, again, it's a stress reduction. It's going to help you feel like everything else around you is a little bit more manageable.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Facials every night, girl. Let's do it.
Yes. On it. Did it last night. Doing it tonight.
You're glowing. Gorgeous. Amazing, Steph. Thanks so much for having this conversation with me. And I hope to everyone who's listening that that we were able to empower you in some way.
And that it's simple steps. We didn't talk anything crazy here. It's very simple baby steps. It's a decision to make those baby steps, but it is very empowering when you make that decision.
Yeah. And it's a daily decision.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we've got your back, everyone who's listening. Steph and I are here for you, as is our entire community. We are advocates of health, of wellness, of well-being, of empowerment, and we want to support you to feel your best right now and always. So thanks, Steph.
Thank you. This is a great idea. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.